Welcome back, everyone. Sheepdog Smokey here, and Nancy's at it again. Pelosi suggests arresting all of the people in Trump administration. Unfortunately, Pelosi said the jail beneath the Capitol would be overcrowded. In an interview with Robert Costa of the Washington Post, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, Democrat, California, brought up the authoritarian idea of arresting all of the members of President Donald J. Trump's administration. Well, let me just say that do we have a jail down in the basement of the Capitol? She said. But if we were arresting all of the people in the administration, we would have an overcrowded jail situation, and I'm not for that. She was responding to a question by Costa about whether Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin could be held in contempt or arrested for refusing to hand over Trump's tax returns to House Democrat, which Mnuchin claimed would violate the law since it does not serve a legitimate legislative purpose. But I think, again, getting to the committee, Richie Neal, the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, has a path. Again, all of this is so low and precedent-based that we have to do the right things as we go forward, Pelosi continued. And there are several options. One of them is to go directly to court. Democrats have been badgering members of the Trump administration, including Mnuchin and Attorney General William P. Barr, ever since Special Counsel Robert S. Mueller submitted his report clearing Trump of wrongdoing during the 2016 election. Wednesday, Democrats in the House voted to hold Barr in contempt for his failure to testify before the House Judiciary Committee, not before the committee, before their staffers, to discuss the findings of the Mueller Report. Barr has already made the report public and testified in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee, where he endured a day of flagrant abuse from the likes of leftist senators, including Mazie Hirono, Democrat of Hawaii. This is much like Kamala and the taxes. Democrats hope you don't know the truth. If you follow me on Twitter, you will have seen where I pointed out to Senator Ilhan Omar that even as much as she tries, as often as she says that it's required by law that they see the returns, it's not. There is no law requiring that Donald J. Trump release his tax returns. Ironically, there actually is a law that should be used to prosecute whoever did leak them to the New York Times and CNN, because that was a crime. Donald J. Trump saying, no, I'm not going to give you my tax returns, is not a crime. There is no legitimate legislative reason for Richard Neal, who refuses to release his own returns, despite countless requests for them, to request them. They literally only have, well, we want to see them. We want to see them. And the entire world knows that if they ever get them, they will use them to twist and lie and try to impeach. What none of them will say is that Donald J. Trump has never broken federal tax law. Otherwise, the IRS would have gone after him. Supposedly, what they've revealed from the 10 years from 85 to 94 is that he paid no taxes because he claimed business losses. Of course, what they all refuse to say is claiming business losses is legal. They won't change federal law to close loopholes in tax code because all of them use them. They all want to pay as little tax as possible. I'm honestly surprised none of the Democrats have brought up a bill to say, well, serving members of Congress are exempt from taxes for their entire life because we're serving the country. We deserve to not pay taxes. Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, Sanders, so many members of the Democratic Congress are multi-millionaires on a salary that is now around $175,000 a year and was at many times much, much lower. Because, of course, you see, they had to slowly raise their own salary to that level. So they make $175,000 a year. If you do that for 30 years, that's still not enough paying for your housing, your transportation, your food, your clothing, your utilities, and everything. So if they were paying their own bills, none of them should be worth what they're worth. But they don't care about that. They care about overthrowing a duly elected president of the United States. I would love to see them go to court and for a judge to say, show me the federal law that requires that the president release his tax returns, so that they can then be seen and proven to be idiots. Because, of course, they'll be stammering and stuttering. It's tradition. It's tradition. It's tradition. And the judge will say, I don't care about tradition. Show me the law that says it's required. But it's tradition. Is it illegal? It's tradition. It's not illegal to do this. Case dismissed. And, of course, they'll appeal and sue and cry and whine that they're not being obeyed. This is Orwellian tactics. When we can't prove a crime, we'll invent one. When we can't invent a crime, we'll say that not letting us invent a crime is a crime, in fact, on its own. So we're going to say that you're not legally required to release your tax returns, but if you don't, we're going to put you in jail for not releasing them because you committed no crime. It's the same BS they're pulling with Attorney General Barr. Attorney General Barr has flat out told Congress, I believe it was actually in the Senate committee, but he notified them as is required, that the minimally redacted, meaning the only redactions are of information Congress is not legally allowed to see, is available for them to come and review. He will not bring it to them. He will not publicly release it. They don't want this, though, because if they do that, then he knows, and the entire Justice Department knows, who read it. Then when it starts leaking, well, here are the people who read it. So one of them leaked it. And they don't want that because they want to be able to selectively leak whatever the hell they want and twist it into as grotesque a lie as possible to demand power. But I've talked about this long enough. This one's a short one, I know, but there's really not much more to say. We're facing a Democratic Party in Congress that is hell-bent on just removing anyone from office that will not obey them. It's Orwellian tactics straight from 1984. But let me know what you think. As always, keep the comments civil. We don't learn from argument. We learn from debate. And as always, also, please remember to like, share, and comment on this video, as well as to subscribe and activate notifications so that you're the first to know of all new content as it is posted. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful day.